Hey guys, I'm here with none other than Chillin. This is Esports Adam, esportsheaven.com. Adam, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well.
Well, I think the question on everyone's mind is there was a little bit of a salty sweet match last night.
Right.
Why don't you? It didn't go as you planned, I hope.
Right.
Right. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that and what you think about it now that you've had a night to really reflect on it.
Right. Well, it was definitely a bummer how it went down, and I think that a lot of it was just my inability to keep my composure. Games 1 and 2 were really close, and game 2 I basically had the game secured, and I just missed a dash up smash, just got a straight up smash, and that really was hard to recover from mentally. And so the next few games I was kind of just on autopilot, and I really feel like I should have taken more time between games to try to get my composure back and stuff like that. But I mean, obviously it was a 5-0. I have to give Leffen props for backing up his talk, as much as, you know, I personally don't like the dude, but he did back up his talk, so it obviously could have gone a lot better for me, and it's just I have to move on from it. I mean, I have to take that loss and see where I can improve and come back stronger next time.
Okay. Well, I mean, you lost the original Fox color.
Right.
Are you pretty sad about that? Because I mean, you're pretty much the original Fox. What color are you going to be now?
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking blue, because I use blue in teams already, so it works out that I can just switch it over to blue, and blue will be my new permanent color for both teams and singles, hopefully. So.
I mean, it makes sense. You're Team Liquid. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe you should have just started blue as soon as you joined the team. But speaking of Team Liquid, I mean, you were one of the first matches to get picked up by a real esports team in Team Curse, right? Mm-hmm. You were one of the first ones to make that jump. But now they're emerged. How do you feel about being a part of Team Liquid now and having all these new teammates and this new organization?
Right. I think it's amazing. Team Liquid was the organization that paved the way for all these other teams to get into Smash when they picked up Ken and KDJ originally. And when that happened is when I decided, you know, I could possibly try to get sponsored if other teams are looking to get into it. Smash is blowing up the way it is. And the fact that I'm now on that same team that started the whole trend is really awesome. And Team Liquid is just a great organization. They take really good care of us, and they give us really sweet jackets. So very happy with it.
They're very stylish indeed. But even more so than being a player, Chillin, you're known for being a very popular streamer, you know, with the Chillindude and all that stuff. So could you talk a little bit about how you come up with all the ideas for your stream? Because there's like nostalgia nights, and you also rewatch the documentary, and then you even have that show with Hugs. Right. It's escaping my mind. But how do you come up with all these ideas?
I really feel like the Smash stream scene needs more variety in general, and I've always felt that because for a long time I've streamed and it's just been, you know, me and Asin sitting there playing singles for hours, and that's, I mean, entertaining and fun for people to watch for sure, but I feel like that type of thing does get old, does get a little bit stale, and doesn't have as much, I guess, staying power as you know, if you switch it up frequently. And that's why I'm really trying to bring different types of variety to streaming, and not just have, you know, two people sitting there playing for a long time. Like I said, that's still entertaining, but I feel like there's other ways that you can really I mean, the way the Smash community has blown up, there's so many more opportunities to talk about stuff like that's going on, and talk shows are a great way to do that. And I really like the fact that Nostalgia Nights sort of gets these old school players that aren't necessarily in the spotlight as much anymore, and sort of gives them a chance to talk about their old experiences. So I really think that it just comes down to variety and keeping it interesting for the viewers, and I think it's worked out pretty well for me.
Well, do you ever feel like in doing so many different ideas that it kind of cuts into your practice time, or do you feel like it's whatever, like you're still fine at either way?
Right. Well, I mean, I still practice a ton. I've practiced more these past couple months than I ever probably have in the past, so I still definitely find time for practice. And but yeah, so I definitely find time for practice still, and honestly, the stuff I do as far as setting up the shows and stuff like that, it's not too time consuming. It's mostly just contacting people to be on it and stuff like that. And all that, once you get it done once, like, you really don't have to spend too much time on setup after that. And, you know, I really don't feel like those types of things take away from my practice time, because I still get plenty of practice regardless.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the MDVA region. You know, you guys have Smash at Xanadu. Do you guys feel like you're finally getting stronger as a region? Because in the past, you guys were really one of the strongest. You had husband and wife. You had H2IL. How are you feeling about the region now, and how do you compare it to all the other regions?
I definitely think MDVA has been coming up. It's been kind of slow. It hasn't been like a quick rise at all, but it's been slow and steady for the past couple of years. And so I really do feel like MDVA has the potential to get back to being one of the top regions. Right now, I'd say there's definitely a number of regions that are stronger than us. SoCal, NorCal, for example, both extremely strong. Florida as well. I would definitely put all of those regions above MDVA at this point. After that, though, MDVA might be one of the next strongest regions. There's also Tri-State, New York. I think that I actually feel at this point that MDVA might be stronger than them as a region. So we're definitely on the come up, and I feel like if we can keep it up with, like you said, the Smash at Xanadu, we have weekly tournaments. You know, we're really practicing down there and trying to get to the level that we used to be at back in the day, for sure. So I definitely think it's possible.
Well, speaking of trying to get back to that level, you know, you and Chu are probably the ones that the newcomers that are really leading the way. You guys are the I guess ranked highest, if you want to call it that way. What do you feel like is preventing you from reaching that upper echelon? Like, what do you feel like you need to improve on?
I think that it's really a matter of practicing smart, because you can practice as much as you want, but it's really comes down to putting in work, not only just playing Melee, but also studying videos, theory crafting, just, you know, trying to figure out what good strategies are in theory, and then when you apply that to your game, then you'll probably get a lot more improvement than if you're just sitting there playing, not really thinking about how to improve. So stuff like that, I think, is really what we need to work on. Practicing consistently and with, you know, really good players, which we don't get to do too often in MDVA because we're a little bit spread out. So I mostly just play Asin when I practice. I definitely could benefit from practicing against different people and styles, obviously, even though Asin kind of brings that by himself because he can play everyone. But I think that moving forward, our best bet is to just start practicing more with each other and sharing, you know, strategies, tricks with each other and stuff like that as a region. And if we do that, I really feel like Chu and I especially can get back to where we used to be back in the day.
Okay, I mean, I look forward to seeing you guys up there. There's nothing cooler than seeing all the old school guys really challenge the gods, you know?
Right,
old school versus new school. It's always nice to see. But, you know, going back to your whole streaming thing, I remember you used to do matchup videos. Like, for example, you did a Fox versus Luigi matchup. Are you planning on doing more of those in the future?
Yeah, I actually have been doing some more. It's called a series I have called Monday Night Matchups. So every Monday night, I typically do either a breakdown of a specific Fox matchup, which is I did Fox versus Luigi. I've done Fox versus Marth as well. Or I'll do just a high-level match analysis. So I did Mango versus Lucky at Big House, for example. And those are a lot of fun, actually, because I kind of just get to break down what the players were thinking when they did specific moves and stuff like that. So, and I think that those are really informative for the viewers as well. And then I occasionally do sub-video critiques as well. So if people want to submit videos and have me give them critiques and advice on stuff like that. So all of that happens on Monday Night Matchups. So I'm trying to make it kind of a multifaceted series, I guess. Yeah, I lost my train of thought now.
Yeah, me too. I don't remember what I was supposed to ask. These loudspeakers, man. Okay, so let's go back a little bit to Evo 2K7, or rather Evo last year. You know, you made 9th. That was probably the best performance we ever seen from you in a long time, because MLG, you didn't like make top 8, but you didn't do bad. You just weren't all the way up there.
Right.
What made that difference? Like, it seemed like you were just playing out of this world.
Yeah, I think it was just a bunch of factors coming together that I mean, I went to sleep early. I made sure I had a good breakfast. Like, I did everything that I tell myself I should do at a major tournament that never ends up actually happening. But for some reason at Evo, I was just determined to do it. And I don't know, a lot of it was just confidence. I really believed that I could beat Kobo. You know, I knew that I had a bracket that could get me far in the tournament. And just knowing that kind of gave me the confidence to perform as well as I did, I think. And it really just came down to I think the bracket was very favorable to me and made me confident in it, because if I had been matched up against like a Samus first round, I would not have been confident at all, and it probably wouldn't have been pretty. So I definitely think that the bracket was favorable for me, but at the same time I took all the right steps to make sure I was ready to perform, and I ended up doing really well because of it.
Okay, well, I think that's all I got for you, Chillin. Do you have any shout-outs you want to give or words you want to say to your fans? How can your fans follow you?
You can definitely follow me at Liquid Chillin on Twitter. My Twitch is twitch.tv/Chillindude. I definitely want to give a shout out to Team Liquid, as well as HTC, Razer, HyperX, Alienware, Namecheap, Quest, and G2A. Great sponsors. They help us out a lot, and it's much appreciated.
That's all I got now. Stay tuned to esports7.com for more Apex 2015 coverage. Thanks.